I'm Mark,
And I'm Josh.
and this is Alter Ego Comics TV. Sorry we had to take a week off again last week. Live and learn, the holidays are not the best time to be making video reviews. So we've got 2 weeks of ground to cover, plus we did get a question from one of our viewers that may take up some time. So we'll get to that towards the end of the show, the big show.
Really big show.
Last week, lots of good stuff, but two things struck me as things you should buy. Actually, you should buy it all, but things you really should buy. Starborn #1. This is the third and final Boom title, the brainchild of Stan Lee, written by Chris Roberson, who does iZombie and will be taking over Superman shortly. Art by Kerry Randolph. And this was, in my opinion, the best of the three Boom Stan Lee books. And I've liked each one. I've liked each one that has come out better than the one before. So while they're all good, I think this is the best of the three. If you're looking to try a new idea from Stan Lee that does not involve the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever that guy's name was, So You Want to Be a Superhero, really cool concept, kind of Matrixy, has some elements of other things that you have probably seen before, but it is an original idea, but still feels somewhat familiar. The artwork is cool. I like Kerry Randolph's stuff, and I haven't seen a lot of his artwork lately, so it's nice to see this. So Starborn gets a big thumbs up from me, and you should definitely try it.
Last week also we had Superboy #2. This is picked up where the previous issue left off, which is still in stock at Alter Ego Comics. And it's continuing Jeff Lemire's run, and it's quite good. If you like Connor, you like that Smallville feel that you don't get from a lot of the books anymore. It's a great read. If you've been reading and enjoying Sweet Tooth, this is the same author. If you want to see what he'll do with the cape and tights, this is where you're going to see it. Well, not tights, but jeans.
Yes, and a black t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
The first collected edition of Thor, the Mighty Avenger, came out last week, and for some reason I did not check this out in single issues. Possibly because of the artwork, which kind of grew on me as I read the trade. But everyone has been kind of raving about the writing on this series, and now that I've read it, I have to agree. And I'm sorely disappointed that the series has been canceled with issue #8. So there will be another trade. This collects issues 1 through 4, and worth every penny, $14.99. It's kind of an oversized digest size, but you also get Journey into Mystery number 83 and 84, so the first two appearances of Thor, in addition to Thor the Mighty Avenger 1 through 4. This is a contemporary updating of the Thor story, and while I haven't read the script to the new Thor movie coming out next year, this could possibly be it. You have a new role for Jane Foster. She's not a nurse. She works in a museum, and she's just put in charge of the Norse exhibit at the museum. So you're introduced to Thor, you're introduced to Jane Foster, all the supporting characters, the Warriors 3, Odin, Loki, they're all in here, and it's a good jumping on point for really anybody. This is an all-ages book, but it's got enough stuff in there for older comic book fans that you'll like it. But if you've got someone between 5 and 10 or under the age of 12, they would probably like it too. Looking forward to the next volume. I was just really impressed. Each issue was outstanding, and you can now pick this up in a convenient collected edition format. Another big thumbs up, Thor: The Mighty Avenger.
Detective Comics Annual. This is the first part of a two-part story that's going to be completed in the Batman Annual later this month. And if you like the Batman Incorporated concept, this is the first place we get to see it in action. There's some stuff going down in France, and we've got Bruce Wayne there trying to get permission for Batman to be active in France, as well as Batman actually investigating the story. And we see some possible clues as to who might fill the French role in Batman Incorporated. It's great. We've also got a backup story about the Question and Night Runner being one of the newer characters introduced in the book. And it was a great read, and you can pick up the second half in Batman.
On to this week's high points. Green Lantern Plastic Man one-shot, written by Marv Wolfman, art by Brent Anderson. Just a fun one-off if you're looking for a cool Brave and the Bold style story. Green Lantern, Plastic Man, not the best of friends, but they are teamed up and take on some aliens in this. The thing that really I wanted to talk about with this book is the artwork. Brent Anderson does some outstanding work in this issue, and it's very reminiscent of Neil Adams. In fact, I had to check and make sure that Neil Adams wasn't inking over Anderson's pencils because it looks a lot like Neil Adams' artwork. So if you're a fan of Neil Adams, you definitely want to check this out. Just a fun one-off Green Lantern Plastic Man.
That's all you need.
Well, Weapons of Mass Deception is the subtitle. There you go.
Loki 2, continuing the deluge of Thor titles. Loki continues to be the strongest one. This is a nice mixture of classical Norse mythology, some things that we've seen referenced in Marvel Comics history, as well as new content that you haven't seen before at all. And it's wrapped up really well. It's good. It's genuinely good, and you will enjoy it. And we still have both issues in stock right now.
No surprise, Wolverine #4. I've been a fan of this and singing its praises since the series started. If you haven't been watching, Wolverine is stuck in hell. His soul is in hell. His body is possessed by a demon on Earth. And on Earth, his body is taking out those close to Wolverine, while in hell, Wolverine is battling Satan or a demon who's like Satan to be free. But he's running into a lot of his old friends and enemies in hell. Just a very cool story. If you're a longtime Wolverine fan, you owe it to yourself to pick this book up. Now, you may have been burned in the past by the, not to use a word that we just used, but deluge of Wolverine titles over the past few years. But this really does a nice job of packaging some of the high points of Wolverine's history and putting it into a nice story. It's going to be great in a collected version, I'm sure. But each issue has been very good. If you're a Wolverine fan, don't worry about all the other Wolverine stuff that's out there. This is the one you want to read.
And also, it's important to note that we see a lot of renumbering these days, but this one actually deserves to be renumbered. It's a new creative team. It's a completely new direction. It is a new series. It's not just more of the same with a different number on it. And my final book from this week, Superman. This continues the grounded storyline. This is another issue written by G. Willow Wilson of Air and Cairo, and still using the Straczynski story arc or line suggested. Basically, this one focuses primarily on Perry White and how the planet fares when it doesn't have Superman to report on and put on the cover every day. I thought it was a good issue, and it's a nice portrayal of some side characters we don't see a lot of, and it was good.
And my last pick of the week, Birds of Prey #7. This is the beginning of the Death of Oracle storyline. Anytime you get Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon in the same book, I'm there, just because they have such an interesting relationship, and because of what happened to Barbara, because of Batman, there's something about it that, the dialogue is usually good. And with Gail Simone writing Birds of Prey, she was born to write this series. She did such a great job on her original run of Birds of Prey, and now back only 7 issues into the series, so not too late to get on board. And actually, I didn't even read the previous issue. And I jumped in with this one, and I didn't miss anything. That's not saying don't read issue 6, but if you want to jump onto Birds of Prey, this is a good jumping out point. The artwork is spectacular as well. In fact, this looks a lot like one of the Kubert brothers, but it's not. It is... Dramatic pause. This guy, Ardian Syaf. Ardian Syaf, hope I'm not butchering your name because I'm sure you're watching this, but the artwork was top-notch. All right, well, I don't know if we have enough time to answer the question that we got from one of our viewers this week in this segment. So what we're going to do is stop here, and we're going to have a second part to this week's episode where we tackle what would happen if I ran Marvel and Josh ran DC. Check it out.